Stop with the white knuckle death grip. Let go of holding on to the not enoughness. Recognize that, oh, fuck, shit. Okay, my beliefs are creating my reality. Got it. And I have the ability to change those because I'm malleable and everything is on the table for evolution. Do you get that? Everything is on the table for evolution. There is nothing about you in your identity that is fixed. And that's amazing. And that's what identity evolution is about. That's what becoming is about. Who you've been is zero indication of who you're capable of becoming. Welcome to the School of Becoming podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Litt. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome back. I am super excited to talk to you today about something that I know you know. I put that in air quotes. Yet, I don't know if you really know like you know like you know. So we're talking all about belief. I know that you know that your beliefs create your reality. And I have such an awakening story that I am going to share with you that is going to bring all of this home, everything you might have taught if you're a coach or a mentor or a teacher of this work, anything you might have learned, any kind of belief awareness or reprogramming you have done. The story that I am going to deliver you is going to finally land in a way that will actually change you at the level of your subconscious mind. But before I go there, let's not take anything for granted and let's talk about belief. Let's chat about it. So what is belief? Belief is the cornerstone of our perception, right? It is the lens through which you view the world and make sense of your experience. Beliefs are the bedrock upon which we build our reality. It influences everything from your decisions to your relationships and way beyond. Your beliefs exist in the subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind is running 95 to 97% of the show. Okay, so let's just be here. You have a mind. It has two parts. You have a conscious mind and you have a subconscious mind. Your beliefs live in your subconscious mind. And here's why that's really important. Because consciously, right, as in cognitively, only on average 3% of that is actually driving your reality, driving your behaviors, driving your results. 97% of that is coming from your subconscious mind, which is where all of your beliefs live, okay? So when you change your belief, you are actively changing your identity and your entire life. Belief reprogramming work, and there's so many incredible ways to reprogram your belief structure. If belief reprogramming work is not occurring, transformation will never happen, right? Meaning sustainable, long-term, I am different, I am in a different identity, I am actively in a different evolved version of myself. Reprogramming our beliefs is essential, okay? Belief is deeply held conviction about what is true and real. I'm just breaking down belief for you in all the ways that I feel like you deserve to understand it. Belief is a deeply held conviction, think about that, of what is true and what is real. That gives you an appreciation for arguments, debates, dissonance, right? Because when we believe something, it's our reality. We will die on the sword. It's our whole identity. Well, until it's not and you change it, right? Belief is what we believe to be true. And then based on that belief system, we live out our lives, right? In behavior, thought, habit, language, energy that we emit, then decisions that we make. And what all of that does is it affirms and proves those beliefs to be even more true. This is why when we hear things or, see a meme that says your beliefs create your reality, like, I need you to know like you know, like you know. Oh, shit. My beliefs are creating my reality. My beliefs are at the core of my current identity. Okay? A thought that you keep thinking over and 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 over again also becomes a belief, right? There's many different ways that beliefs get formed, but that is also a way that beliefs get created. Beliefs themselves can be limiting or they can be expansive. The coolest part about belief is that it's fluid, it's changeable, it's malleable, just like every part of you, right? Beliefs are survival-based. This is really important. As we grow, we look for the evidence to affirm the beliefs that we hold, and we disregard anything that does not align with our beliefs. Like you can just sit here and even be with the state of the world right now and start to draw a more elevated awareness and perspective around how different people view different things. That when you're watching argument, debate, fight, what you're actually seeing are beliefs in action. Because, like I was just saying to you, anything that doesn't agree with, align to, or affirm what it is we believe is threatening at the level of our identity. So we push it away. We don't want anything to do with it. We argue against it. I'm bringing up this moment of helping you have an expanded level of awareness because I am intending deeply to build a more loving, compassionate, progressive, conscious world. And giving you this appreciation can then allow you to zoom out a little bit and have some grace and compassion when someone has a completely different opinion or perspective or belief structure than you, and recognize that what's occurring is they are simply living out the identity, behaviors, habits, et cetera, of that belief structure. And when something goes against that belief structure, at the level of our nervous system, it feels threatening. And then what we know to do is fight, right? What we know to do is walk away. So let's just be there with that because I think it's pretty profound. Which is also important to know for those of you that are coaches, mentors, teachers, right? Or you're working to shift your belief structure. And this is something that we heavily support when you come through the School of Becoming, our certification. This is also helping you to understand that reprogramming your beliefs is not like, oh, I identified a core belief. Sweet. Now I'm going to choose a different belief. Great. And then I'm going to turn on the light switch and I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to turn it off. And then boom, I'm in my new belief. Because when you go to change and reprogram your belief structure, it creates stress and a threat response in your body because your nervous system has relied on these beliefs to stay alive up until now. That's why transformation, like actual real transformation, the kind the school delivers that's proven and potent and guaranteed if you show up to do the work, your nervous system's like, stop listening to this woman because it's so threatening. But you need to understand the knowledge because then the knowledge, once applied, becomes the transformation that you're seeking. Okay? So now we have I think, pretty solid understanding of belief, right? How belief creates reality and what belief actually is. And now I want to take you into this story that is super personal and just something that I feel really compelled to share. So one of my main core limiting beliefs that I, have identified and worked through and all those things. I am now way many past versions of myself that knows like she knows I am whole, I am enough, I always have been. That old belief structure doesn't even, she's nowhere in sight. But my core limiting belief was I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. Okay. And there are different instances that occur in our upbringing that create our core limiting beliefs. And in one of the instances of mine, and I actually wrote about it in my first book, Worthy Human, was this instance when I was younger. I have two sisters. I'm the middle of three. And my younger sister wasn't even alive at this point in our lives. And my older sister and I did a lot of things together. So actually, my core limiting belief structure, a lot of it was because I had an older sister and because I would live in a state of comparison and then internalize it to make that mean something about me. Because when you are third trimester to 7-ish years old, you're all subconscious mind. You have no conscious mind. You have no discernment. So if your sibling is bullying you or your father walks out on your family, you don't have a conscious mind to discern and go, oh, well, my brother was just having a bad day. That doesn't mean anything about me. You don't have the conscious mind and the discernment to say, oh, you know what? That's my father. He's unhealed. That has nothing to do with me. I'm whole. Every single person in the world with no gray has to experience the path of unworthiness, the unworthy identity, period. I'm going to break this down for you, okay? And I'm going to try to go slow, but I get very jazzed about this subject matter. There is not a person that didn't experience on their path, starting with and having to go through the unworthy identity. And here's why. Third trimester in your mother's womb till around 7.5 years old. It could be 7, it could be 8, somewhere in that range. We are all subconscious mind, turned on 24/7, 365, like a video camera. Okay? And we're ingesting and we're ingesting and we're ingesting and we're ingesting and we're ingesting. And when we are all subconscious mind, anything that occurs, right, an event takes place, it then enters the mind. We then assign it meaning. And when we are all subconscious mind, the core meaning that gets assigned is, I'm not enough. It could be an iteration of, I'm not significant, I'm not important, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not significant, I don't matter, I'm wrong. That's kind of like the smorgasbord of what gets internalized, okay? Because we are biologically egocentric. It is protective. It is protective as we are moving through that, and we self-internalize the moments that happen. And it always, always, always lands in something about you, right? My parents are arguing about money. I'm not getting the attention that I need. That must mean that I'm not a good girl. See, I'm not enough. My sister didn't share her toys with me. That must mean I'm not enough. My father left when I was 2 years old. He abandoned the family. Oh my God, was that about me? It was definitely about me. What could I have done better? See, I don't matter. Okay? That is how our core limiting beliefs get built. And it is really important to be here because when we recognize, oh my goodness, I had no shot. There was never a moment in time where anyone had the opportunity, because that is the bulk. And yes, you can create beliefs way beyond 7 years old, but that's what's in your suitcase, babe. You get issued a little baby suitcase when you're born as a baby. And then as you grow, I want you to imagine you're carrying that suitcase with you, and the suitcase gets bigger and it gets bigger and it gets bigger. And you have all these files in the suitcase. And there's always that file in there. I'm not enough. I'm inherently wrong. I'm not significant. I don't matter. Whatever that iteration is. Okay. And then as we go through life and instances happen, because everything about you is survival based, which means everything about you is loving because your system just wants to make sure you breathe and live another day, then you just catalog it. And it's like, oh, and then I didn't make the soccer team. Psh, I know what that's about. I'll throw that into the I'm not enough file. Oh, I didn't get invited to that little girl's birthday party and half the class did. I know what that means. I don't matter. Okay? So now that I've just expressed that to you, and if you have questions about this, DM me on Instagram. Let's talk about it. The thing I need you to know, because I want you to liberate yourself a little bit. There's nothing wrong with you. There's never been anything wrong with you. The lie of unworthiness is the real fucking pandemic. And there wasn't a person in this world that got out unscathed, which can really anchor in for you. Oh my God, holy shit. I think I'm picking up what she's putting down. There's actually nothing wrong with me. There's never been anything wrong with me. That was the way my subconscious gets wired. That is the self-internalization of every small being that is all subconscious mind, that has no discernment, that is biologically egocentric. And then as soon as we perceive the I'm not enough, our gorgeous, super fucking smart system creates an adaptation to protect us from any kind of pain we might have felt from that event that pushed forth that limiting core belief, right? So now all of a sudden, we're being good girls. We're perfectionists. We're sarcastic. We procrastinate. We have high levels of control. We overfunction, right? We're rule followers. All of these things are imperative for you to really start to understand the way that the school delivers it. Because if you don't, and then you don't come through and truly evolve your identity at the level of your nervous system, because that's the thing that makes it all work, then you end up creating a life, a company, a team, a marriage, a motherhood, driven by that 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 7-year-old, and perpetuated and kept alive by all those adaptations, those adaptive behaviors that I just mentioned. And then you wonder why you're fucking exhausted and keep chasing the next carrot and can't shake off this constant need to prove yourself. And it's all been a lie. When I really understood this, and that's what was the impetus for me writing We're the Human, which was my first book, international bestseller, by the way. You can get it on Amazon. If you don't already have it, get it. And I read the audiobook for it. Was my awareness of this when I figured it out, and then I was learning it, and I was like, holy shit. So the truth is that we're all worthy. The truth is that we're all worthy humans. The truth is that we're inherently whole and worthy 100% of the time. The truth is there's nothing that could ever happen outside of us to decrease our inherent worth or therefore increase our inherent worth. This is everything, because I know you still, even unconsciously, it permeates. It's part of what lives underneath your indecision. It's part of what lives underneath your overachievement. It's part of what lives underneath the prove yourself. It's what lives underneath your avoidance. And as a leader, you can't afford to not deal with that shit. You know? Let me come back to center and tell you the story that's going to encapsulate all of this. So in the book, We're the Human, I write about one of the remembrances I have, one of the memories I have, okay, hear this, one of the core memories I have, write about it in We're the Human, that drove to affirm the belief that I am not enough. And the story goes like this. My sister is 2 years older than me. My mother took us to cheerleading tryouts. It's this big, beautiful park in New Jersey where we lived. We do the tryouts. You know, we come off the field, and I come off the field holding a mascot suit, and my older sister comes off the field with a letter jacket on, like the cool kind. And in that moment, the decision I made, the event was, I'm the mascot. She's on the team, right? She's a cheerleader. She's got the letter jacket. And the meaning that I made in that moment subconsciously was, I'm not good enough. Because if I was as good as her, I'd be walking off with the sass, with the letter jacket too. And I make this decision and I ingrain this core belief at what was about 5 or 6 years old. And that is what lives in my suitcase. And I stack on it, and I stack on it, and I stack on it, and I stack on it. And 2 years ago, I'm going to be 48 next week. So at 46, for 40 years, I thought that that's what was true. 2 years ago, we take a group of our clients to New York City. It's part of one of our programs. It was amazing. We love to be together in person. And we end up going to the Drew Barrymore show. I get us all seats and we're sitting in the audience. It was awesome. My older sister, the one that got the letter jacket, she loves to do anything that she can with us. So I was like, why don't you come to the Drew Barrymore taping and then you'll go before we do the sessions and stuff. So she comes to Drew Barrymore. We have a great time. One of my dear soulmate clients, who I just feel so honored to love and serve in her up-leveling, she had read Worthy Human. She had heard me tell the story because, I share a lot of myself inside of our teachings. And she and Jamie are walking after the Drew Barrymore show. We're going to go meet in Central Park. I now leave the group. I'm going to Magnolia Bakery to buy obnoxious amounts of baked goods for all of our clients because I love to spoil you guys. And apparently, Jamie and our client are walking, and our client shares with Jamie, like, oh my God, and da-da-da, and she recants the story of the cheerleading tryout. And Jamie looks at her and goes, oh my God, that's not what happened. Oh my God, that's not what happened. I have to go. I have to find Tracy. Jamie comes storming, beelining into Magnolia Bakery, and she grabs me and she's crying. And she goes, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. What happened was the tryouts were for older kids, but mom brought you anyway, for whatever reason she brought you, and they let you try out with us. And they loved you so much. You were so great that they created a spot on the team for you and made you a mascot. What? My all subconscious little girl carried that lie that then had so many things stacked on top of it for 40 years until I had the good fortune to have the universe and happenstance intervene and be told the truth. That not only was I always enough, but I was exceptional. And that's why I got the mascot suit. So half the things that we sit on and remember and bring up as the instances that have driven our limitations are not even fucking true. You need to start to I want you to feel in your body right now, things starting to open. I want you to start to pop off all the work you've done and all the moments and all the things that you did. You don't know anything. I know nothing. You know nothing. It wasn't even true. The story that my subconscious made up was the lie that perpetuated the bigger lie. And my not enoughness played out in me not believing I was smart enough, and fucking off in high school, skipping second period, just being such a rebel and rule breaker because, fuck it, I'm not enough. Not going to college, which now that I sit back, it was such a lie. I didn't think I was smart enough to hack it. So, the story I made up back then was oh, it's just not for me, da 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 da. But I would go back and have that great, fun, transitional experience in my life. Now, let me also add this. Everything happens for your highest good, which is why the way I teach is so profound, because I'm the ground and the stars, right? I'm going to help you understand what's happening in your humanness, but also pull you up into how guided, supported, and the fact that you are energy in human form. You are a spirit. You are soul in a meat suit. My soul needed these lessons. My soul needed this experience. I needed every experience to be the vessel, the teacher, and the guide that I am. And one of the gifts of my not smart enough was the way that I taught myself to learn, because I perceived I wasn't smart enough. So everything was super visual and super simplified and super digestible. And you want to know one of the top 2 things we hear from every single woman that comes in our world? I've been doing personal development work for years, but I have never had it land like this. That was so digestible, that visual, it was so fucking easy to understand. Now I get it. Now I'm having massive transformation because my not smart enough, it gave me this crazy superpower of taking super, super high level concepts and just making them like, here it is, boom, boom, boom. You got it? Great. Let's keep going. So I share all that to allow you to also lighten up a little bit for whatever this conversation just did for you. So just take a breath, shake your arms out a little bit, let some air out. Okay. Because everything is happening for your highest good and your soul is here in your human form to answer an objective. But the biggest point, there's so many things I want you to take from this, and quite frankly, you'll take whatever you need to take. But I want you to stop with the white knuckle death grip. Let go of holding on to the not enoughness. Recognize that, oh, fuck, shit. Okay, my beliefs are creating my reality. Got it. And I have the ability to change those because I'm malleable and everything is on the table for evolution. Do you get that? Everything is on the table for evolution. There is nothing about you in your identity that is fixed. And that's amazing. And that's what identity evolution is about. That's what becoming is about. Who you've been is zero indication of who you're capable of becoming. And the next level that is right there requires this next level of you. And inside of that evolved identity is a new worldview and a new belief structure and a new level of mind that's rewired and a new connection to your body and a re-imprinted nervous system and a higher level of paying attention to the words that leave your lips and a more potent energy that's being emitted and a groundedness and a knowingness and a higher level of consciousness that you're operating from and this depth of wholeness that makes you untouchable, where you're finally living from the inside out instead of the outside in. That's the game. That's what you're here to do. That is your divine moral responsibility. Are you with me still? I trust that you are. Let's shake it out one more time because that was phenomenal. Woo! Shake it out, shake it out. And shaking it out is part of being with your body, in your body, and processing things through your body. All right, beauty. Thank you for being with me in this incredible conversation. DM me, let me know what came up for you. And until next time, there's always more love. Mwah.